Good morning, everyone. Well, it's snowing here in Bellingham, Washington, and so our whole team is safe and cozy in their own homes. So you're getting a glance at my lovely living room, and you are welcome here, as you always are welcome at our center. Why don't we go to Amber, who will lead us into this wonderful day with some inspiring music? Thank you, Amber.
Well, good morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. We're going to sing some love songs today, mostly about loving ourselves more than anything, right? In the name of love, with a heart of grace, overflow in us, decorate this place. As it is below, so it is above. May we always stand in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one. In the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one. In the name of love. All right, let's blast this whole world with some love. Send it out as we sing. In the name of love, may we always be seeking out the best till we are free. Living in a world we've been dreaming of, where we stand as one. In the name of love, when the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one. In the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one. In the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one. In the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one. In the name of love. All right, now here comes the easy part. We're just going to sing in the name of love. 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 Are you singing along? In the name of love. 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 Oh, it's so lovely to see you all out there. If you're on social media, specifically Facebook, now is the time to say hello to all your friends out there. Maybe you're new to the Center for Spiritual Living here in Bellingham. Maybe you're living, who knows, not in Bellingham, obviously. We've got friends from all over the place. So let us know who you are. Say hello. Your soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Are you clapping? My soul is welcome here. Clap, clap. My soul is welcome here. 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 Yes, indeed. Oh, I saw a little comment showing up on YouTube. How cool is that? I forgot that all you YouTubers out there, you get to comment as well, and we can see those comments. Well, we are going to move along to our wonderful practitioner of the day, Joanne Allison, for an invocational prayer.
Thank you, Amber. And welcome, everybody. I'm Joanne, and your practitioner for this morning, and I invite you to join me in prayer. So as we settle in to this snowy morning here in Bellingham, where we're all blanketed in this snow, we celebrate today a day hallmarked for love, Valentine's Day. And I know that every day is a day for love. There is a deep, divine, abiding love within all of us, a love that is all intelligence, all beauty, all joy, all powerful. This love creates and this love gives. Any perceived darkness that we may imagine or think of, there is love. In every nook and cranny, there is love. And it guides us and lights our path in our journey. And I expand my awareness now of this love that dwells within me and allow it to express through me in a greater, more abundant way in my activities. And so I welcome all of you in this spirit of love to join with me in spiritual practice as we listen to the music from Amber and the message from Dr. Andrea. And so it is.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Joanne. Well, this is an easy one to, I think, get us into some musical meditation together. The words are, I am whole, repeated over and over again, and all I need resides in me. Let it be a love offering to yourself today. I am whole. 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 All I need resides in me. All I need resides in me. Let's sing that again. All I need resides in me. All I need resides in me. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love.
Thank you, Amber. One of my favorite songs. Welcome again, everyone. The theme for today's talk is love in the time of pandemic. And I chose a quote from one of my favorite authors growing up, J.R.R. Tolkien. And it goes like this: "The world is indeed full of peril, and in it there are many dark places. But still, there is much that is fair. And though in all lands love is now mingled with grief, it grows perhaps the greater." And I chose that quote because in our very own country, more people have passed away from COVID than all of Americans in World War II. And globally, we're talking millions. And so I wanted to talk about what that quote indicates, which is wanting to talk about grief and love and reliance. And so I'm going to start with a quote from Thich Nhat Hanh that I was reminded about while I was watching the Mystic Summit, which maybe some of you got to watch. And you know, in the Dalai Lama's tradition, in Buddhist tradition, and in other traditions as well, there's the understanding that the Buddha from time to time incarnates again in its fullness. And so Thich Nhat Hanh was asked about that, and this is what he had to say. Do not be afraid to love. Without love, life is impossible. But we have to learn the art of loving. Love by the way you walk, the way you sit, the way you eat. Learn to love yourself and others properly. The world very much needs love. We have to help the next Buddha, Maitreya, the Buddha of love, come into being. I am more and more convinced that the next Buddha may not be just one person, but he may be a community of love. We need to support each other to build a community where love is something tangible. This may be the most important thing we can do for the survival of the earth. We have everything we need except love, which I thought was an interesting, at the time that he made that statement, that the next Buddha would be perhaps a community of love, it was a radical idea. And yet, I too, like Thich Nhat Hanh, believe more and more that it is in community that we will find the answers to the dramatic challenges that face us. And part of that is because in our philosophy and in many of the spiritual traditions of the world, there's an understanding that when you pull back the veil, as Amber's first song spoke to, what you discover is that we're all one, that there's just one beingness that's taking form and expression through all beings everywhere. And indeed, Thich Nhat Hanh, coined the phrase interbeing at the time of his own awakening to this truth, that we inter-are, that there is no way that you can exist or I can exist separately, that we rely on so much in the web of life just to be, and vice versa. And so it's in this consciousness of interbeing that I offer this talk. So let me talk to you about grief first, because to know love, you must also know grief. They go hand in hand so often. So there's big grief and there's personal grief. So let me talk for a moment about big grief. So in our tradition and in many of the traditions of the world, there is an understanding that we share a morphogenetic field of expression. Carl Jung, when he was teaching, used to refer to this as the collective unconscious. And this field that we're all connected in, the morphogenetic field of sacred humans, contains all that we are experiencing and all that ever has been experienced. All the thoughts, ideas, feelings, understandings, perceptions, everything is contained within that field. And in particular, the things that allow us to thrive and survive as sacred humans are dominant in that field for most of us. Right now, in the morphogenetic field of sacred humans, there's a vast amount of grief. And what's interesting about it, I was talking to a younger friend of mine, and the numbers have climbed so much with COVID that after a while, they stop being real. They stop choosing. It feels abstract. Like I can't feel that. I can't understand that big a number. I can't wrap my heart and my mind around that. And I have to say, I feel the same way. And that leads me to talking about personal grief. Because probably you have experienced some form of personal grief already in your life, no matter how young you are. Whether it's the death of a hamster when you're 7 years old, the loss of a beloved relative as you grow, the loss of love in a relationship. There's so many ways that we experience grief personally. And it's it's part of our loving that allows us to feel grief. In psychological terms, the person that doesn't feel grief is a sociopath. They don't feel. But for most of us, love brings with it the inevitable grief that comes with the loss of the beloved other. And what's interesting about personal grief is when we can allow that grief to inform us, to walk with us, to live in us, it becomes a gateway to the big grief of the morphogenetic field. But also it becomes a gateway to the gifts of that field. And so I'm sure that many of you, like me, have experienced the loss of people dear to you, either through divorce or separation or death. And it's terrible. It's a tsunami that washes you clean out of yourself sometimes. And yet, there is also within that grief this incredible tenderness, not just for the self and for the other, but for everything and everyone. Almost like a heartbreaking tenderness. Have you felt that? I certainly have more than once. And opening to that tenderness is a powerful awakening, in a sense, to the vaster field that we belong to, the field of spirit, the field of the one. Albert Camus, in a very famous quote of his, said, let me pull it because I always mix up the metaphor. In the depths of my winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer. And in this terrible tenderness that grief brings, often what we find eventually is this invincible part of our own nature, this solid, deep, resilient place that is connected, in my view, to the divine, to the one. And that brings me to love, the second topic in this talk. So there's big love and there's personal love. So let me talk a little bit about big love. And I'll tell you a story from Friday night. So once a month, many women in our community and now from other places join the women's circle, and we have an hour and a little bit on Zoom to do some sort of process and share together. And this particular night, this last Friday, we were working with the theme of our month in February, to know as we are known. And so I used a meditation that I found very beautiful, and it speaks to big love. So I invited the women in meditation to imagine that they were sitting or standing in a sacred grove of trees. And in this holy grove, this sacred grove, the weather was always beautiful. The rains were gentle, the snow fell, but there was no cold. The sun shone, light breezes would dance in the leaves. And as they centered themselves in this holy grove, this sacred place, they could feel themselves held in that energy. And then they perceived someone coming toward them. And they realized that it was a saint or a mystic that they deeply valued in their personal heart. And the saint walked right up to them and either stood in front of them or sat in front of them, depending on their position. And they gazed into each other's eyes. And then the saint offered to enter the body of the woman and turn in the seat of consciousness and look out through her eyes. And so we imagine that the saint was now looking out through our eyes. And we showed that saint our lives, the things that we loved, the things that we were struggling with, the questions of our heart. And then the saint moved back into body, looking into our eyes, and we were allowed to ask a question of the saint after the saint had seen through our eyes our human expression, our human experience. And without fail, in that simple meditation, which took just about as long as I've just been telling you that story, what came to everyone participating was this profound compassion and love, this incredible awakened sense of being held and known and seen, and this compassion for the life experience that we were living, with answers, with answers that without exception involved love, self-love, love for others, love for the planet. It was beautiful. And that's big love, actually. That love that was expressed so simply through that meditation and process is actually available to you today, whether you have a beloved other in your life or not. That big love is always around, always accessible, always there. It is sacred and it is secret because until we ask, we may not feel it coursing through us, showing us the way. And yet Ernest Holmes was extremely clear in the Science of Mind that love, that big love, is actually what moves all of us and that is moving everything. So that's a powerful recognition on this day that's dedicated to personal love. So the question, of course, in many people's minds is, well, if that's the case, if love is moving all of us, then why doesn't it show up in my personal love life more? What is it that gets in the way? And, last year at this time, my husband Joe and I were leading a retreat for couples called the Couples Tao Te Ching. And I wanted to bring you one of the stanzas from the Couples Tao. And this is a translation from William Martin, one of my favorite Taoist teachers. And this is number 76 if you're a Tao fan. So this is his translation for couples. In your early days together, your souls and bodies opened to each other. You moved with grace and ease, and your days and nights were filled with new and wondrous thoughts. If you remain delighted with each new moment and open to surprises, you are on the path of life. If you have become rigid and bored, complaining and criticizing when faced with change, you are on the path of death. There was a time when dreams and plans took wings. Your beloved's eyes contain the cosmos. Why have you narrowed your vision? Circumstances have changed and life has dealt you blows, but the cosmos still waits in those eyes. Look carefully. And that really is true, not just for those of us fortunate to have a beloved other in our lives, but the cosmos awaits in everyone's eyes if we're tuned in to big love. If we understand that every sacred human has been through grief and longs for love and carries the invincible summer within their heart but may not know it. And when we listen deeply to another, we see that love, even if the other person isn't awake to it yet. So I was thinking about personal love because I figured some of you tuned in because you wanted some, 10 tidy tips to make your personal love life better. I don't have 10, but because I was a therapist for many years and specialized in couples therapy for quite a bit of that time, I can tell you this, that what Bill Martin wrote there in the Couples Tao is something that the couples researchers like John Gottman have noted. So what the Gottmans he and his wife have done research on for the last 3 decades, has indicated that when our vision narrows and when we begin to criticize and complain about our love, we begin to shut the doors of our heart and our mind, and we start to tread a path that Gottman calls the path of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And in loving terms, what those four horsemen stand for, that will kill a relationship for sure. The first is criticism. There's nothing wrong with speaking to a conflict you're having with a beloved other, but it's really important not to make the other the enemy, but rather to share from your heart what the challenge is and work together to see what can be done. Criticizing leads to the second horseman, which is, you know this one well, I'm sure, defensiveness. And then if those two go unchecked, what begins to occur, which is most corrosive to every relationship, is contempt. When you begin to have contempt for your partner and who they are, which leads inevitably to a stonewalling. And so I brought you a story that's a very famous story in Vietnam. And I thought it would speak to these four horsemen. And if you're having a struggle in your personal life, perhaps it will help you. So this is about a young couple who suffered deeply because of pride. The husband had gone off to war and he left his pregnant wife behind. 3 years later, when he was released from the army, his wife came to the village gate to welcome him, and she brought along their little boy. When the young couple saw each other, they could not hold back the tears of joy. They were thankful to their ancestors for protecting them, and the young man asked his wife to go to the marketplace to buy some fruit and flowers and other offerings to place on the ancestors' shrine. While she was shopping, the young father asked his son to call him daddy, but the little boy refused. "Sir, you are not my daddy. My daddy used to come every night, and my mother would talk to him and cry. When my mother sat down, daddy also sat down. When my mother lay down, my daddy lay down too." Hearing these words, the young father's heart turned to stone. When his wife returned, he couldn't even look at her. The young man offered fruit, flowers, and incense to the ancestors, made prostrations, and then rolled up the bowing mat and did not allow her to do the same. He believed that she was not worthy to present herself in front of the ancestors. Then he walked out of the home and spent his days drinking and walking around the village. His wife could not understand why he was acting like that. Finally, after 3 days, she could bear it no longer, and she jumped into the river and drowned herself. That evening, after the funeral, when the young father lit the kerosene lamp, his little boy shouted, "There is my daddy!" He pointed to his father's shadow projected on the wall and said, "My daddy used to come every night, just like that, and my mother would talk to him and cry a lot. When my mother sat down, he sat down. When my father lay down, he lay down. Darling, have you been away for too long? You have been away too long. How can I raise our child alone?" she would cry to her shadow. One night, the child asked her who and where his father was, and she pointed to the shadow on the wall and said, "This is your father." She missed him that much. Suddenly, the young father understood, but it was too late. If he had gone to his wife and asked, "Darling, I suffer so much. Our little boy said a man used to come every night and you would talk to him and cry with him, and every time you sat down, he sat down. Who is that person?" she would have had the opportunity to explain and avert the tragedy. But he did not because of the pride in him. And the lady behaved the same. She was deeply hurt because of her husband's behavior, and she did not ask for his help. She should have practiced saying, "Darling, I suffer so much, please help. I do not understand why you will not look at me and talk with me. Why didn't you allow me to prostrate before our ancestors? Have I done anything wrong? If she had done that, her husband could have told her what the little boy said, but she didn't. And because she too was caught in pride, the tragedy occurred. Personal love is a powerful thing. And in order for us to manage it well, we must turn to big love, which leads me to my last and final point today, my beloveds, and that is reliance. You know, it's not common in our world to be taught to rely on something that's vaster than our habitualized selves. So often we're told that if we make enough money, or we look a certain way, or we conform in certain practices, or we have a really good job or status, that we'll be worthy of love. And so often when we go looking for love, we look for it in the wrong places of the habituated perceptions and beliefs that we've been taught, looking at the outer instead of looking from the inner. And so in spiritual practice throughout the world, there's a different teaching. It's a teaching that's difficult when we're caught in our habit energies. And yet it's such a powerful teaching. And that is to begin to rely on that big love, that deep, vast presence of love, and to define ourselves from that place, to relate to the world from that place more and more, and to assess ourselves and others with the same energy that the saint assessed those women on Friday night, to pull back the veil that would tell us that we are separate from others, separate from life, separate, and to pull it back far enough to understand that actually we all are together in a vast field of love, and that love, when we encounter it and touch it, can inform us in our relationships with everyone. We naturally become more and more open, compassionate, and loving because we can see not only the love that resides within all beings and all experience, but we can also see the grief. We can understand that we're all in this together, the catchphrase of 2020. But we can understand it at a heart level and know that it's true. So I can say with absolute truth, I love you. And I wish for you the highest and the best in this 2021. So let me offer a prayer for you as I offer it to myself too, from my heart to yours. I come into the consciousness of the One, casting aside the veil that separates, and really understanding that I am joined with all others in a vast field of consciousness that is love itself. This love animates me. It is always available, and it is always available to you as well. I set my intention clearly in this day dedicated to love, to be the love I wish to see in the world, to live from that place more and more fully with each day, to generate compassion, happiness, joy, and love, to lift others, and in that way be lifted myself. I practice love in all of its forms, toward myself, toward all others, and to all sentient life, as well as to Mother Earth. And my actions and my thoughts and the way that I am in the world is informed by this love. And I am grown more deeply and richly in love with each day. Today, the love that I have, I offer to those. Whether I can actually give them a hug or not, I send love out, knowing that in the field that we all share, it is known and felt, and it is an energy that holds others. I'm grateful for this day, this opportunity, and for you, for love between us, around us, and moving through us. And so it is. Okay, because I'm at home, I'm going to just share the announcements on my phone. So give me a moment to pull that up. We have some wonderful things happening. So today, for those of you who identify as male, the men's group is meeting via Zoom at noon. And you can get that Zoom link by emailing Philip Flores, who's the facilitator for the men's circle. His email address is philintexas@gmail.com. Now, I've had the delightful, loving privilege of working with my dear friend, Reverend Sue Miller, that maybe you heard last week. She covered for me as a birthday gift. And she and I are offering a day-long retreat at the end of this month on February 27th, sorry. And we're inviting you to come. The title of the retreat is Pilgrimage of the Heart. And we are looking deeply into our way forward to cross the threshold into the next area of growth for ourselves. So if you would like to come to this retreat, we want you to know that you need to register no later than February 24th so that we can send you a list of what to bring. This is offered via Zoom. And because we understand that Zoom is taxing for many of us, the sessions will be offered in mostly 90-minute sessions. There'll be 4 of them throughout the day with time in between to rest and also to fulfill little assignments that we've given to you. It's an opportunity to do some personal growth work and also to share with others. And what's lovely is that both of our communities are invited to join. So you'll get to meet some sisters and brothers from a fellow center and share the personal growth of spiritual practice together. So we'd love you to be there on the 27th, registration by the 24th. And then we want you to also know that next Sunday, the 21st, we have a wonderful free workshop that will be happening starting at noon via Zoom that's being offered by our practitioner core. And it's an opportunity to do an interactive process and learn some of the spiritual principles that have changed our lives and that we would love to offer to you so that your life may also be changed like ours in wondrous ways. So that's a real opportunity, and I hope you'll take advantage of that. You can receive the link to that by emailing the center at info@csl-bellingham.org. And then we also have our annual general meeting coming up at the end of March, and our nominating committee has been busy searching out new board members who might want to serve. And if you have that calling in your heart, I'd love you to let us know that. You can email me, Andrea Asebedo @att.net if you have that interest, and we'll get back to you sometime this week. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to go to the center tomorrow, that's for certain. I also wanted you to know that after a full year of not offering a new members class, I will be offering the new members class via Zoom on the last Sunday of this month, February 28th at noon. And if you've been interested in joining our center, whether you're near or far, this is a requirement to becoming a member of our center, but taking the course is not, it doesn't mean you have to become a member. You can just come for the information of it. So you're invited to come to that. Please email the office if you would like to attend, and we'll put you on the list for that Zoom meeting. We have a brand new class that's going to be starting soon, and we'd love you to be a part of it. It's called Infinite Possibilities, the Art of Living Your Dreams. It's being given by our own rogue rabbi and practitioner, Kalish Leviel, and the class is going to begin on March 6th. It's a Saturday. It will be going for 6 weeks, and it will begin at 11 a.m. and go till 12:30. This is a wonderful opportunity. Infinite Possibilities is based on a book, And it's a nice follow along from the many classes you may have had on visioning your life. Really very pragmatic and also very heart opening. So you're invited to come to that if you would like. Don't forget that our practitioners are offering wonderful ways to stay grounded and connected through this time. So if you haven't joined them for their morning prayers at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, please check the calendar and the website for the Zoom link for that, as well as evening gratitudes and prayer Monday through Friday at 8:45 p.m. and a midweek guided meditation at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. We love you. We want to share with you and help you to grow exponentially in this really interesting time we're living in. Thank you so much for being part of our community, for donations that you've given. And now I'm going to send you back to Amber Darlin for one last song to take us out. Happy Valentine's Day.
Well, we hope that the music and message today has filled you up. Let's sing out into this glorious day, snowy here in Bellingham. For the sun that warms this body, for the earth that we call home, for the love that knows no boundary, I am thankful. For the trees that line the mountains, for the sea and life it holds, for the source of inspiration, I am thankful. Love, light, life, fill me up. Peace, power, beauty, joy, fill me up. For the one infinite divine that is and ever was, I am thankful. I am thankful for abundance and growing, for the mystery unfolding, for each and every being, sacred truth we are knowing, for kindness and compassion and the courage to take action, for the law of attraction and the freedom to create. Love, light, life, fill me up. Peace, power, beauty, joy, fill me up. For the one infinite divine that is and ever was, I am thankful. I am thankful. Love, light, life, fill me up. Peace, power, beauty, joy, fill me up. For the one infinite divine that is and ever was, I am thankful. I am thankful for the sun that warms this body, for the earth that we call home, for the love that knows no boundary, I am thankful. So thankful for each and every one of you. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you again soon.